Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. This week brought to you by Ringstamps.com and Experian. I'm Gus.
I'm Blaine.
I'm Barbara.
I'm Bernie Ghost.
And I'm Gus. What were y'all clapping about?
We were getting pumped, dude.
Yeah,
You're getting pumped.
I like that.
The crew who has never clapped or made a sound other than counting down right before we started clapping right before we went live. And I started freaking out, wondering what was wrong.
What's wrong? Why are people enjoying their job? What's wrong with you? What happened?
I just pulled a muscle clapping so hard.
Yeah, Barbara got an injury. I'll let her tell you, Blaine, but she got an injury at the gym, and it's like the way you always get injuries at the gym, which is just doing something stupid.
Doing nothing gym related.
What did you do?
I had just trained that morning.
Hell yeah.
And like felt good, did a lot of like upper body workout and stuff like that. And my trainer's like, great job, like let's go sign you out. We're all done for the day. And he like picks up my water bottle for me and hands it to me. And I decided to go like this to get it. And in doing that, this like went and just pulled itself. Oh. And I was like, ah! Like down, I went down in pain. He's like, what the hell just happened to you? And I'm like, it's like, I'll see you next week. Thanks.
Just like your arms like, ah.
Yeah.
I had a thing where I couldn't figure out why my right shoulder was messed up for so long period of time. And I was going through with like, I went to a doctor, like an orthopedist, to figure out if I needed fucking surgery on my shoulder. And we went this whole range of motion thing. Totally fine going out in front of me, totally fine going out the side. But if I put it backwards, which is something you never do, like straight back, then I could put no weight on it at all, like nothing, which you can't do anyway, really. But it was like, even if you pressed on it, it would hurt like hell. I'm like, he's like, well, what are you doing? It's got your hand going back, straight back like this, your arm straight back. I was like, I can't think of anything. And then I put my arm back and thought, what do I do like this? I was like, oh, it's from wrestling with the kids in the back seat. Like when they drop something and picking shit up, it's like just that motion of reaching into the back seat constantly like a stoplight. I damaged my shoulder for like a long period of time. That was Andy who fixed that.
The dad shoulder.
I had dad's shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, dad's shoulder is when like, you have a little kid and they get like that goop on your arm because the kids are just sticky.
You'll be getting that.
I can't wait.
Real soon.
2 weeks ago, I was gonna go meet up some friends at the climbing gym, and like I set my alarm to like it was like 10. I stayed up way too late the night before, so I like set it to 10. And I was supposed to meet him at 10:30, and I hit snooze, and then I realized that I had slept in, and I had like 10-15 minutes to get to the gym, and I got up so quickly that I pulled my neck. And then I was just like, oh, and then I was like, had stiff neck. And then I went and climbed and like, I was like,
don't do that.
Oh, no.
I know. And I tried to power through, which is like the number one thing you don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
also,
for an injury like that.
I want to see if my knee can crack on my.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that sounded good.
Yuck.
ASMR.
No, not quite.
Yeah, my secret to avoiding these kinds of injuries is to not go to the gym. I've never hurt myself at the gym.
But have you hurt yourself at home?
Good question. Have
Yes,
you?
but I can't avoid going home.
Like, give us an example of an injury that you've had.
You could avoid injuries that you'll get at home by going to the gym.
Also, you
But no, but I have 0% lifetime gym injuries.
Have you ever had
Sure.
stitches
But probably double home time.
from something that wasn't like a medical procedure? Like, I got to go get stitches.
From some no?
Like, I cut my hand or I
No.
fell and split my head open or
No.
something? Really? Because that's happened to me like 5 or 6 times.
At the gym?
Maybe you're
Not at the gym,
maybe
just
you're
in general.
Maybe you're a clumsy fuck.
We've moved away from the gym now. We're just focusing on Gus's utter lack of activity.
Nope, never
in
had
any
to
way
get stitches.
whatsoever. Never had stitches. Have you ever been knocked out?
Yeah, I had an endoscopy. There's an RTA about it.
Oh, because they
Oh,
with
that kind of knocked
anesthesia.
out.
Yeah,
but not like in a violent way.
no.
You can't never like got knocked out.
No,
You-
no.
You were put under.
Put under. There you go. I thought that's what you meant.
What haven't you always dreamed of? Like what if you're tall? Like you and Bernie are both these tall dudes.
You're on this tall thing. You're tall.
I'm not tall.
You're on this thing lately with not being tall.
He's pretty
tall?
short. He's,
No,
pretty,
it's
he's
not-
pretty small.
It's not lately. I'm
Stop
like,
it.
No, I am. Like it's 5'10". But I think the
5'10"
camera
is not. 5'10" is not by any. That's tall.
That's like average, right?
It's like it's so like
Because you're back on with the dating, which probably brings it up a lot more.
Yeah, dating. Height is such a big deal on dating, and like it's never bothered me. Like I think like my most recent girlfriend was as tall as I was, so whenever she had heels on, she was taller than me. But that has never been a concern of mine.
Okay.
But it's a big deal for certain women, and it's just like
It's a big deal to a lot of dudes.
The average
Which is
American height for men is 69.7 inches.
So it's
Nice.
5'9.7.
Yeah, 59.7.
Okay, well
You're
then I'm
above
like
average.
right around that ballpark then.
But
on
you're
the
above average. What's
Yeah.
Arnold? That's the question. What's Arnold?
I think he's 6'1", maybe just 6.
Let's see. Arnold
The idea that I
Schwarzenegger
could
height.
look Arnold Schwarzenegger in the eye just seems wrong to me.
6'2".
6'2". All right.
There you go. Not too much taller than
But you see him with like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and
he's
Andre
probably,
the Giant.
He's probably
he
shrank
looks,
now.
He looks so small
Probably.
compared to them.
Yeah.
But that's why I've noticed this. You've said this before, is because I do think it's a big deal to a lot of ladies online, but it's a much bigger deal to lots of guys. I think in dating in general, especially with guys, it's whatever they feel like they don't have. Like, you're a very good looking dude, great shape.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
But for some reason, hearing you say like, "Oh, I wish I was taller" or whatever, or like girls on Tinder like bleh about height and things like that.
Have you ever imagined what it would be like to just be like huge?
That's my reality, Blaine. I live that every day.
These are people you're dating. It's like,
Copy.
No,
it's so fucking rude.
I'm 100% happy.
Okay, right on. That's good.
One of the worst ways I ever injured myself was, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was maybe in my yard. I was doing yard work, and I did this thing where I moved something to the side with my foot. Like, I put the inside of my foot on the side of it and pushed it to the left. Like, took my right foot and hooked it and pushed it left, and it's just like it did something to my hip. That was done.
Was that
hip
an
flexor,
adductor?
like an abductor or
Just a weird-
I
inductor?
think it's abductor and adductor. I'm not sure. Yeah, but yeah, that's a weird muscle that when you hurt
is.
it has to do with every other bodily function.
If you, like, let's say, as it can happen sometimes, entertainment career, boom, all over, done. Would you ever go into like physical training or anything like that? Physical therapy?
No,
Or anything
It's just
physical
so it's-
related?
I just don't have I don't think I have the patience to go through the medical school. And I'm like, all right, so I'm not gonna go down that path. I'm a very kind of like selfish person, and I like fitness because it's something that I enjoy personally.
Yeah, well, you're a
and
millennial.
training other people and having to like give an extra amount of patience to another person, it's pretty like I couldn't be. All right, 2 more sets,
It's not your style.
No, I will only do it for very close friends. And right now, Andrew Rosas and I, one of our other writers in the comedy group, is he's going to the gym with me pretty often. He's kicking ass. He's
Yeah.
trying hard.
I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
So people need some time.
I feel like you guys
friends.
turned Chris around. You and Aaron Marquis kind of turned Chris too. Like, I never
Yeah,
thought of
you
Chris
guys
as
are
being a
always
guy
going to the
in good shape. And it's one of these things like, it's terrible how first impressions kind of stick. But Chris is in tremendous shape.
Yeah, he's great shape.
He's in really great shape.
He's incredibly athletic.
It's like
But when
a
I first met him,
chimpanzee.
he
You'd
was
never
more like
think
Gus.
a chimp
It's
was
because
ripped,
he runs
but a
everywhere.
chimp can fuck you up.
yeah.
That's exactly how Chris Damaris
I know a
is.
chimp is ripped because I listen to Joe Rogan.
It's because he runs everywhere he goes.
Yep.
You just got to put weights on him, and he's set.
Maybe he's wearing something under his jeans. Who knows? We got injured a little bit on Friday. I don't know if we should talk about it, but we were doing something
Stunt work.
for a short, which may or may not actually work out in the end. But I got like,
Look at Chad is just abusing Blaine.
What are they saying?
that's
Some
what
guy
it's
said,
about.
you kind of look like you're
And I
losing a
don't know
little
if I
mass,
could-
Blaine. They're just fucking with you because they know it'll trigger you.
It's hard to show this one without giving an upskirt to the audience. Hey,
Whoa, hey, don't zoom in on that.
Oh, is it a little knee injury?
That's
But
gonna be
there's
our
like-
thumbnail.
Got a bruise?
I haven't. It's like I fell off my bike. It's like the kind of injuries I have with this thing. And I was just trying
But
to.
no, your knuckles are like jacked up. You look like you got in a fist
You got to
fight.
fight, yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I actually got into a fight.
You joined Maddie's sorority.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Doesn't look as bad on camera, but it's bad.
Miss Maddie. She popped up in something. Like, she was in something just recently. I saw, and it was linked somewhere. And she did it. And it's the story about her that she told about her sorority getting in a massive fight. I always love that story. It's ridiculous.
Great
You show enough knee, by the way. They could Twitch will advertise you on Ninja's old channel if you make it a little more risque.
Yeah, what the hell happened with that?
Well, he left Twitch to exclusively stream on Mixer and made a big deal about it. And I think that was about 2 weeks ago.
I think it was about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
It was like the middle of last week. I remember because we talked about in that being number one on the platform and leaving, and the impact number one has. And as part of that, we talked about PewDiePie and just like general thoughts about PewDiePie. And boy, I've gotten fucking hammered about that, both good and bad. But there are a lot of people who are, and rightfully so. He's got a lot of fans, that
Defending that racist piece of shit.
Josh, I didn't want to go down. Didn't want to go down that
I do.
path.
I'm not gonna fucking shy away from that.
Gus,
Fuck that.
Don't say racist. Anti-Semitic.
Wait.
Different thing.
Can you guys film? What was it now? Did
What's
he
that?
do another Nazi thing?
No, it's not another
What did he
thing.
do again?
It's
We were just-
the culmination of all the past.
Pretty sure
times.
So
it's
here
like
we
a
go
one
again.
and
I shouldn't
done
even have
kind
brought
of
it up. We were just talking about the impact the biggest person on a platform can have on the platform, which is important to everyone else who's on the platform. And whether or not it was justified, and there's a lot of people who don't feel it was justified, is that a guy who's making jokes, whether or not they're racist and anti-Semitic, they don't feel like that brands should be pulling out of YouTube as a whole because that gets reported on because the media is overblowing it.
Yeah.
That's their side, as I understand it, that's what they're telling me. And we were just talking about it, and they thought we were perpetuating a myth that he had made racist and anti-Semitic jokes.
I mean, it's not a myth.
When he had. Like,
he has clearly done it.
He's clearly done it.
You can look it up.
It's documented. Yes, it is documented that he's done it. And you can argue whether or not he should be able to make those jokes or whether or not they were even jokes. But one in particular was like, he said a very racially explosive word in a fit of rage, like while playing a video game. So that was like...
That says a lot about
Which like doesn't easily slip out if it's not a word that you maybe more often use than most people.
It's a word that's in his dictionary.
Tends
his
to be the case.
We're off on this tangent again. This is what always happens.
Yeah.
And the reason...
We've been doing this for 11 years.
No, we're off on this tangent. This is what happens with number one on the platform. Somebody who's number one on the platform is every conversation then threads through that person. That's the impact it has on everybody else. That's the whole point I'm trying to make, right? Like, there's a lot of people who stream on Twitch. It's not all about this ninja guy. It's not about him leaving. It doesn't mean the platform's going to fall apart because he's not there. But now there's this whole kerfuffle of they're using Ninja's old account page, or I guess he must still own it. He didn't abandon it, right? But somehow he's very upset because they were using... I saw a post on Twitter, which is him, and it looks like him in a car. I can never, by the way, not to get off a tangent, can never fucking tell anymore if anyone's in the driver's seat or in the passenger seat when they're making some kind of video.
The front-facing camera,
Because it could be flipped or it couldn't be.
But like cars, there it looks like he's in the passenger
seat. If it's on Instagram,
but a car's kind of a symmetrical environment if you don't include the steering wheel. So it's impossible to tell unless you know the guy's face well enough to know he's flipped.
Or unless you see the steering wheel.
Unless you see the steering wheel.
So is the right side or the left side of his hair green? That'll let us know.
Oh, that's a good point. We got to do
Where's
forensic.
that freckle?
I like this. You know what road we're heading down here? We're trying to prove that Ninja is videoing while driving. I don't want to get involved with that conversation. I don't even want to start that ball rolling.
I'm sure he's in a
I don't care.
If you look up Mixer Ninja photo, it's just a bunch of like blenders.
It's the Ninja Mixer.
Oh my God.
Play a little bit of the video. So
Literally, there's no photos of him.
He can explain it way better than I can.
Little jabs we felt like, but it didn't matter. We wanted to stay professional. But now, for those of you who don't know, if you go to twitch.tv/ninja, they advertise other channels. They don't do this for anyone else that's offline, by the way. Just me. And there are also other streamers who have signed with other platforms whose stream and channel still remains the same. You can see their VODs. They don't promote other streams. They don't promote other popular channels, but they do on mine. I've been streaming for 8 years to build my brand, to build that channel. 14.5 million followers. And they were still using my channel to promote other streamers.
Passenger side.
Well, now there was a porn account that was #1 being recommended on my channel. And I have no say in any of this stuff. So this is the line, this is the straw. We're trying to get the whole channel taken down to begin with, or at least not promote.
Okay, that's not fair. I think it's right towards the end anyway. Cut the feed, Eric! But the whole thing was, it's like the headline was that Twitch showed porn, which they did. I saw a screenshot, at least, that somebody else had documented. I saw a screenshot where they had a bunch of links to other streamers. Like, it's basically like YouTube, their recommended videos. And I get what he's saying, that it's really frustrating. I guess Twitch doesn't do this normally, but it's really frustrating when you have something you've been working on for years, in our case, like 16 years, our YouTube channel for 13 years, 10 or 12 or 13 years?
12? Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And it's like, you make all these videos, and it's like, hey, somebody came and watched one of our videos. It would make sense to show them one of our videos, or at least be able to choose what are the videos that are recommended next. Or at least half of them are from the same channel. YouTube just absolutely doesn't do that. And Twitch is the same way, where their job is to pay attention to the platform as a whole. And you can see this was his follow-up to the tweet. This wouldn't even have been an issue if they didn't use my channel to promote others in the first place. And it's like, that's the problem. It's like, as big as Ninja gets, if he doesn't make his own destination and he's not in charge of that stuff, he's really just an account.
Yeah, the platform is seeking to protect the platform.
That's their whole job, is to protect the platform, right? It's going to be. It's, now granted.
By showing some high quality pornography.
That's where they lose that. Like, there's nothing you can say at that point. You know what I mean? It's
I understand Twitch wanting to keep people in their ecosystem, but then when they start doing that, like, isn't that even a violation of their own terms of service?
Right.
Wasn't he mentioning that they don't do that on anyone else's channel? It's just his?
Right.
Correct. So it's not something they normally do.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy. If it was something they normally did, whatever.
And this is in light of his recent departure and going back to
going to Mixer.
Mixer.
I think he thinks it was intentionally
I think that's
done that way.
That seems
Like they had a dead channel. Their number one channel is now dead. Right.
But that they
And
like intentionally advertised not so great channels there.
I think they just put up like I think they probably did an algorithm thing, and I'm guessing.
Okay.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine they did
Twitch
it
said,
intentionally.
let's put
Yeah.
the porn thing at the top. You know how it is when you run a poll online and people are like, hey, let's vote for Hitler did nothing wrong or something like that. Subscribe to PewDiePie. Sorry, I'm just gonna shut up. I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. I don't want to talk about it
No, but
anymore.
that's the problem. This part of the problem online is people will bully you when you clearly state a fact. Like PewDiePie is a huge racist piece of shit. They will come after you despite the fact there is clear evidence of wrongdoing.
Well, racist is a subjective term, though. That's
Okay,
the thing. So
no
you're saying
matter
that
what
you
the
can say, he made a racist joke or a racial joke.
He made comments that weren't even jokes that were racist.
That's where the argument comes in. That's what I'm saying. That's where the argument comes in. I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I'm not saying that at all.
I'm just saying that we shouldn't be bullied into not calling racism racism. We shouldn't let people who perpetuate these things make us be quiet about calling it out when we see it.
Where's the crew to clap now, huh? Y'all are all quiet back there like church mice.
Thanks, guys. I really, no, they're afraid.
So somebody silently went like this. And I
It's
won't
a
call
weird
that.
time for the chat not to be on screen anymore.
Since we're on the controversial part,
thank you.
Where we're gonna get a bunch of tweets anyway about this stuff, I should probably show this really cool thing that I got recently. It was supposed to be a gift at RTX, but I didn't have time for it because we couldn't hook up. But
Oh shit.
Nishi, she gave me this. She's a taxidermist on her own. So this is a rooster.
Wow.
The wind-up teeth are fake. They're not real. She had made those just to spoil that. But she made me this really cool rooster teeth mount. I know this is not going to be everybody's thing. I don't have any mounted animals in my house, and there's going to be some people who are upset about this. But I figured this is a bird,
Yeah.
And she ate the bird, she told me. So it's like
there
not
you
like
go.
the bird went to waste.
Yeah.
It's like it's actually been used, whereas the rest of the birds that we eat typically don't go through all this.
And now it's being used even more.
What's up, yo?
That's awesome.
I just want to say thanks for this. If you want to check out our work, go to Nishi's Niche on Instagram. It's NISHI and then niche, NICHE.
That's super cool.
You say niche or niche?
I say niche.
Some people say niche.
I say niche.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was attacked by a rooster?
Go ahead. In Puerto Rico?
No, I was like a little boy. I want to say 6 or 7, and I was visiting my grandparents' house, and they had like a little farm in the back. And one morning, my grandmother told me to go, feed the chickens. So I went out there, and there was I got a little chicken feed in a bucket, and I was out kind of throwing it on the ground. And some of the roosters get really aggressive when you have the food. So one of them wanted all of the food, so it jumped at me. They've got like their claws, their talons.
Yeah.
And it started attacking my leg.
Can
and
I pause you for just 1 second? Someone in the chat asked the rooster, they said, is that a reference to Bernie's old hat? No, it's a reference to the name of our company.
What website are you watching this podcast on?
Are you a lunatic? Can you? That person. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't get your name. Thankfully, I didn't get your name.
So one of the roosters started attacking me, and like with its talons, and it cut up my leg pretty bad. I didn't get any stitches though.
kick it.
No, I was a little boy, so like I started crying and I ran back inside, and my leg was all bloody, and my grandfather got so fucking mad.
At you?
At
No,
you?
at the rooster.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
And
man.
he was like, "Come with me," and we went back outside, and he was like, "Which one was it?" And I was like, "It was that one."
You could tell.
Yeah. And
Said
he walked up to it,
Yeah.
immediately killed it, started plucking it, and we had it for lunch.
Whoa.
It's like like there was no fucking around. It's like he immediately cut its head off, took all the feathers off, butchered it, and was like, "All right, we're gonna eat it."
Did he like pop the neck?
No, he just cut it off.
Damn.
Dude, if I-
Grandpa. Fuck.
If I did that, and that's probably something actually I would do. If that means he's gonna eat one chicken that day,
Right, it's like,
might as well. Why not? Vendetta. I would have looked at you though. How old are you?
I was like 6 or 7.
I would have looked you dead in the eye. 6 years old. I would have said, "Now you and I, we have a life debt. At some point in the future, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna ask you for something, and you have to do it." I saved your life today and killed this bird.
Did you think it was cool?
I thought it was awesome.
He's 6. He's 6.
So is that rooster in reference to your story then? Thanks, Eric.
When we went to Japan, we went to that deer park or whatever. Where is that place? Nara?
Nara.
Man, those deer are fucking assholes. Like I almost got stabbed by one that had the antlers still, and I had to like grab him by the antlers.
I know you all keep saying that.
It
Like,
sounds like they're just a deer.
I had the most pleasant experience
No,
there.
they were fucking dicks.
They were
dude.
like subdued. I thought they were all like drugged or something.
There was one that was really dope, and like he like was on the other side of the street, and then he waited for the cross light to go light up, and then it went, and then he just walked across, and we passed each other.
There's
like
a
we were
road that goes to the
normal.
middle of the
Wow.
deer park?
Yeah, and they were just perfectly normal dudes. See, that one's headbutting Miles' ass with his tongue out. He looks like he's like.
I
trying
don't want to
eat his
interrupt the
ass.
story, but right after Gus finished his Rooster story, I was looking at the chat and I saw TPG in there, Tim, who works with
Oh,
us,
yeah.
and all he wrote was, "Yo, that was mad real." Sorry.
No, you're good.
But I had a good time with those deer. Like they
did
were
not.
so chill.
Well, to the point where like
Your
we're
grandpa
going
wasn't
again in
around.
March.
They heard about him.
Yeah.
They were like,
They knew.
they knew you had the stink of animal
They
vendetta.
know when Gus's granddad killing them, hanging them.
Is it because they've become like people come up to them and feed them all the time, so now they feel so entitled to food from people
Maybe.
that they get like they bully you?
Well, they do the bow thing. They're like, you know, you're like, oh, this is cute, and then eventually they're just like doing this, and then you're like, I don't have any food, and you like hold out your hands, and then they're just
They're like, I'm doing the thing. Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
like headbutt
There's
your.
the warning signs when you crack up around the park. Where
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
It's like warning you that the deer can be aggressive.
Yeah, and they were. Oh, I almost like lost a testicle or something. That one was
Jeez.
like fucking. Ugh.
I just seen, I follow her on Instagram. She's got the coolest life. I think literally
She has a lot of great posts. Yeah.
a decent amount of the stuff I buy because I find out about it through her. Like almost every drone, I got to figure out how to get on the good side of that DJI company because they like send her like fucking every
That's like
shit.
her whole YouTube
Going all
thing,
the way
right?
back to the iPhone stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she made her mark was at. But she was
tech heavy.
doing this cool thing at Yellowstone with like this like really cool camping spot. So it's like for people who want to go camping but don't want to give up like a nice hotel, which kind of defeats the purpose of camping for a lot of people. But if it opens up the park to more people or that experience to more people, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But anyway, she was going on a hike as part of this, like her adventure in Yellowstone. I think it was Yellowstone. And she had her satellite phone just in case she gets in a jam. And then she had a big fucking can of bear spray.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
saw
like
this, right?
mace
Yeah, I follow
for
her, yeah.
bears.
Yes, which has got to be like probably like what 6,000 Scoville
I
or
don't
something
know,
like
something
that.
crazy.
Like normal mace is 4 million. Sorry,
Bear
normal
spray.
mace is like 4 million Scoville, and I think bear mace is like even got to be worse than that.
It's gotta be.
So bears like jalapenos, then, is what you're saying.
They love them. There's only 1,200 Scoville for.
Yeah.
How do I know this? This stupid Scoville scale. That's taking up room in my brain.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just cute. You know, it's like Justine. It's like cute and fun and everything like that. And she's like, yeah. She's like, watch out in case I see a bear. Then like, here's a picture of a mountain. Here on the trail. Then there's a fucking video of a bear. Like it's close enough to where she can shoot it with a smartphone. It's a big fucking bear. She's look, a bear. And you know she lived because she made the post. But I'm like, that's scary as fuck.
Unless that bear sees that post
I'll
and
see
is
if it-
offended
I'll
and
see if
comes
it-
back to get her.
I
That's
I
exactly
thought
right.
maybe the bear was like, there might have been some barrier that wasn't being filmed. I thought-
On the other side of the barrier were
All right, everyone. We'll see you guys next week.
bears and berries have to be on the other side of the barrier. And mayors of Washington, D.C.
Here, while you look that up, I'm going to read this, okay? Then we'll get right back to that when we're done. This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Ring. Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. You've probably seen their smart video doorbells and cameras to protect millions of people everywhere. Ring helps you stay connected to your home anywhere in the world. So if there's a package delivery or surprise visitor, you'll get an alert and be able to see, hear, and speak to them all from your phone. Ring video doorbells can be hardwired or run on batteries, so you can add a Ring just about anywhere. I can see who's at my front door without leaving my couch. It's awesome. Or getting up. It's great to have that kind of security. Plus, I'm also just lazy. I don't want to have to go to the door. I can just see and know if I want to talk to them or not. Anyway, just for you, we have a special offer on the Ring Starter Kit available right now. With a video doorbell and motion-activated floodlight cam, the Starter Kit has everything you need to start building a ring of security around your home. Just go to ring.com/teeth. That's ring.com/teeth. The Ring Starter Kit can give you the peace of mind you need when you're away from home. Protect yourself and your home with Ring Starter Kit. Get it now at ring.com/teeth. That's ring.com/teeth. Thank you, Ring, for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. All right, did you find that thing, Bernie?
No, it's passed.
So,
I mean, it's expired.
yeah.
And she didn't.
The video of the bear, yeah, I tried to find it too.
No, so she does have one of a bear. This looks like it's some kind of enclosure. But the other one was like her on a hiking trail and there's just a bear. But it's a big ass, like.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking about this one from
You're
the
thinking
day.
about that one,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe I'll see if I can get her to send it to me.
Yeah. Um,
But it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just like, I was like, I know she's fine. She made the Instagram post, but I'm like, get out of there. What are you doing? You're insane.
but she got the bear spray. She's fine.
Do it for the gram,
Dude, I don't know.
There was
as they
a
say.
I mean, you got to stand there anyway. What do you do with a bear?
What
dead.
isn't there
You
like?
walk backwards? It's as they come at you.
you're supposed to make yourself
make
look big.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, and if you climb a tree, you're a fucking idiot. Apparently.
Yeah, because they can whip up the street. Or you try to outrun them. That's really bad.
Yeah.
Then
He's
can't they
trying
run
to
like 30
make
miles an hour
They're
or something?
fucking fast.
Where
Man,
you
I
just
would-
try to make yourself big and then just stay still.
And like you face them.
Make
Yeah.
a lot of noise.
Well, I think you make noise so that you don't surprise them. That way, like they know they hear you coming when you're walking. Like
Oh.
if you're walking in the woods, you're loud on purpose. That
If
way.
I could anamorph into any animal, I think a bear or a lion would be one of them.
Really?
A
Bears
werebear.
are fucking cool, dude.
That's a really specific wish.
Scary and big.
Plus, they can sleep like all winter long.
Oh, they just like pack their ass so that they don't
particular.
shit, and then they eat a bunch, and then they're just
3
like
layers to that wish.
Is that
Yeah.
what you want
Why
to
don't-
do?
hibernate. Yeah,
Yeah,
Eric,
you can
on a-
you can do
Tie
that.
it into animals.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's called sabbatical.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna eat a bunch
Ask
of.
Jeff for some advice.
I tell you what, super constipated. Eat a bunch of cheese. and
If
I'm
I could be
passing
any animal in the world, I would absolutely be Gus's grandfather. Because that is like apex, dude.
He was pretty badass.
Dude, I have never killed and
Sloth.
eaten anything that has hurt my kids. Like not even like a plant. It's like stuck them with a thorn or anything like that. That's a big move, dude.
I had a weird thing happen this weekend where I was walking.
That is weird.
I was going into my apartment, and I live in this like long hallway. And then I was walking down the hallway, and then oh Jesus! And then like each door, there's doors to different units, and I'm walking to mine. I'm explaining this real bad. I'm like an alien explaining apartments.
People bop.
So then a door opens, and I have my headphones in because I'm listening to a podcast. Have you ever heard of Hardcore History?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm
Dude.
going. You going to that thing they're doing in
I'm
Austin?
trying to get into it tomorrow. 'cause
I have actually might have an extra ticket on Wednesday. I bought 3 tickets.
spot.
It's like 8 o'clock at night. That
8
I'm going.
o'clock.
I want
Yeah.
to go. Apparently, he's here. They're there.
Why don't we explain what the fuck we're talking about? Hardcore History is a podcast. No, I don't listen to it, but they have this VR event in Austin right now called War Remains. And
Yeah.
everyone I know who's been to it has been like, this is an amazing experience. And it's just a weird coincidence. My oldest son, JD, is a huge World War I buff. And there's like weird year because there's like
interesting.
all this World War I stuff.
Well, we're like
It's-
100 years away from it
it's
now,
fucking
right? Like 100 years past the end.
yeah,
Yeah.
so but I want to ask you, come back to Blaine, then I'll come back to you, Gus, because I want to talk to you about this.
Then come back to me.
Peter Jack. Hey, how do you feel about World War I?
I want to so get into depth about World War One because I've been listening to it. It's just like it's insane. Like
Is
we'll
that what
never have a war.
hardcore history is? They talk about like
He identifies like specific wars and in time periods, and then just goes super in depth, and he goes into the human element of them. Where it's like, I think he had a quote where he was like, I think Stalin or Lenin or somebody said it, where they were like, 1,200 people dead, that's a tragedy. 1 million people dead, that's a statistic.
Right.
If you think about it, it's like you see these numbers.
I think it's even lower number. It's like if 3 people die, that's a tragedy. But if
Yeah.
1 million people die, it's a statistic.
It's a statistic because you can't wrap your head and you lose the human element of how many people that is. But then he goes into depth and talks about like the smell and just like the sights and just like these really visceral experiences these soldiers went through. Where was it? What was it?
You were
Talking
walking
about-
down the hallway.
The door opened and you had your
No,
headphones
okay,
in.
so I'm listening to my headphones. I'm listening to Hardcore History. Great podcast. You should listen to it after you listen to this. And then a door opens.
In the
and then-
hallway that Blaine lives in.
In the hallway that I live in. And then a dog comes out. And it's like a 30, 40 pound, like white, fluffy dog that's like got curls. I don't know if it's a poodle. Bichon? I don't know. Anyways,
I feel like the story could be 5 hours long.
it runs at me
More
and then
details,
it
more
just starts
details.
clawing the shit out of my legs.
Oh my God.
And biting like down here and just like fucking nipping at me and barking. And then the owner's just like standing there like, and then I have my headphones in, so I'm like hearing about World War One, and I'm like, and then an even bigger black lab dog comes out.
Thinks there's a problem.
Yeah, and then I'm like, well, I'm dead. I'm gonna have to like finger one of these dogs in the butthole to get him off of me. You've heard that, right? That's a defensive strategy. You finger a dog.
Bernie
in the
goes for
butthole.
the
Now I
eye.
know.
5 hours long.
Yeah. Anyways, you finger the dog in the butthole, and then they get away from you. They're like, nope.
You gotta reach for the butthole though. What if
Yeah.
it's a big dog? Like
yeah,
a Great
you gotta,
Dane.
like, you gotta grab it, and then you just gotta finger the butt. Anyways, so this dog is freaking out. Another bigger dog comes out, and I'm like, I'm fucking dead. My genitals are gonna get ripped off. And then he actually like jumps in between us, and then like nips at that one, and then he stands there and he looks at me, and I was like, good puppy. And then the owner didn't say sorry or
What?
anything
Really?
like that. She just grabbed the dog, ran inside.
Aren't
got
you
the other
supposed to
one
like
in.
report it if a
That's-
dog bites you.
I don't want a dog to
I know,
die.
like
I agree with Barb.
right.
Yeah.
I don't
you
want
gotta
that
get it
either.
tested
But
well.
like,
They got to monitor it to make sure it doesn't have rabies or something.
the owner
don't-
should be profusely apologizing.
I don't have any. I'm fine. It was just a stupid
Yeah, but it's
dog.
a dog bite.
Well,
Was it a
you
nip
can-
or a bite?
it was a bite.
Like it made.
yeah, it clawed. And I don't know if it drew blood. I'm not gonna get into too much detail because I don't want people like white knighting me into killing this dog because I'm not gonna fucking do that. It was just a dog that freaked out and was probably protecting its owner.
Oof.
They're gonna dox you. They're gonna find out that hallway that you.
Yeah.
I like the story started with
The
trying to
hallway.
explain what an apartment building is.
That story was all over the place.
I liked it,
Well, anyways, I got attacked by a dog.
Are
I
you
didn't have to
okay?
There you
finger it.
go.
I
Are
didn't
you
have to
okay?
finger it.
but no one killed it.
I
Yeah,
thought the
fine.
dog opened the door with all these things.
There were so many weird tangents. It was like misdirect. No, the dog
but you
attacked.
said,
Well, hey, I just saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so that's where I got my storytelling.
dude,
from.
everyone at my gym is
Oh,
saying I have
secret.
to go see it, and it's just I can't. I don't have time to go see it.
I
It's
leaned
3
over,
hours, right?
I leaned over to my date and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but this is great.
I'm gonna apologize, but not apologize for something. And that is, I have to keep all my devices on full blast, non-silent, because at any moment in the next 2 weeks, Ashley could be texting me or calling me, and I got to be able to answer
That's
that.
really selfish.
So, but that means I'm gonna get other pings and stuff like that. So, Gus, I'm
Oh,
kind of.
it's been 30 minutes so far. You've been fine.
You've
I'm
been good.
kind of sorry. This just shows nobody ever wants to talk. To me.
Yeah, that's what. Exactly
Do you want me
what I
to
was
text
thinking.
you right now?
Nope, I'm good.
We
But you can real quick though.
Yeah.
You're saying stick your finger up the butt of a dog to
Yeah.
break up a fight or keep it from attacking you.
yeah. Then you got to wash your hands.
There was a guy who did that in a stadium fight. You know, where like
Stuck his finger up a dog's butt.
close.
the dog
no,
in the stadium?
where these two guys were fighting. I'm trying to find it because I was gonna send it to Eric. It was so fucking funny. Where these two guys were fighting, but they're fighting on different rows, which is always a bad idea. Because you're
Someone
talking
has,
about high
someone has
ground.
the higher ground.
Yeah,
Oh.
like
Yeah, and
way
again-
higher ground and like close proximity to kicking you in the face or whatever. But these guys were fighting. They were fighting across 2 rows, and then a guy a row further down from that comes up behind the guy at the lower row who's facing upwards and just reaches up and grabs him by the balls and squeezes. It immediately stops the fight on both sides. And it was like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this?
Good tactic.
It worked like a charm. Everybody instantly.
They didn't team up on the new guy. Like that guy's a ball grabber.
like
Go
an-
after him first.
It was an old dude, you know. It was like he was an older guy. He's like just knows how to stop this thing. He's like, I got this, and just like reaches up and Eric, I'll try to find it for you, and I'll forward it to you. It's such
Now
a
I know
funny
what
video.
to do if I'm ever near a fight. Oh, here it is.
Oh, here it is. There he goes. Comes in. He goes.
Oh!
And everybody's like,
Oh.
hey, what's going on?
He's like, dude, he was like stunned.
It deactivated him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that look like a Browns game?
It's like a clip on the cat.
Browns Jets.
That
So
guy's
look up
hands
Browns
brown now.
Browns Jets ball squeeze. But it's like that's thinking, right? You can get in there and throw some punches and do some damage like Barbara would have done clearly with her busted up knuckles. Or you just go in, like, just squeeze the guy's balls and it's like, fights fucking over.
You just got to get to him.
The guy,
He had the perfect angle coming from behind.
play it again. The guy had such a perfect look on his face. It was amazing.
If they have it available.
Coming.
It's coming or
They
it's
probably
gone.
closed it. Brown
Here we
fan.
go.
So they're fighting.
Oh.
His
With
like
a
his body
gusto.
tenses up.
Everybody stop.
Everybody.
That guy,
Wow.
that guy was in total control of that situation.
Yeah.
That guy, if that guy had been a rooster, that old dude would have eaten.
Yeah.
Like,
That would have been it. It would have been over.
We're gonna kill you and eat you.
We had over the weekend, we put out that video that we filmed at San Diego Comic-Con. Barbara.
Oh,
was
yeah,
that?
yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
We went out there and we interviewed a bunch of people. We asked them questions that we brought up during the podcast
You didn't. Okay.
and asked them to.
I watched
weigh
the
in.
video.
Clarify some arguments.
You didn't ask the one question I wanted you to ask.
What
Which
was the
one?
question?
Can you buy a single stick of butter?
Eric.
We did ask that
We
question.
did, but
They-
for time, we had to cut it. I'll give you the raw footage, Bernie.
Okay, thank you.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
The overwhelming answers was yes, you can buy.
I used to
single
work in a
stick.
dairy.
These are
yes, you can.
Hollywood elites.
The whole cast
that
of
don't
Black
buy their own
Lightning,
butter.
They
that's,
say yes.
That's who you're interviewing.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea. They have no idea.
But-
They're out of touch with reality.
This was a last minute. Well, not last minute. This was a change from our original idea for what we were going to do out there with these people at San Diego Comic-Con. A few days before we went out, I had read on Reddit that there's a subgenre of erotica of dinosaur porn. And I thought, oh, it'd be funny,
Is it like furries or what?
Well, I wasn't sure what it was. So I
Yeah.
thought, wouldn't it be funny if we go up there and, read? Do we have those covers? I thought, wouldn't it be funny if we went out there and, like, they seem like totally ridiculous. So we thought, oh,
Space Raptor butt invasion.
so we thought maybe it'd be funny if we read some of this. It'll be like kind of comedic, and we can read this with them, and we can wear dinosaur masks while we do this.
Oh my God.
But then I'm sorry to say, I bought a couple of the books
Good.
Why? Did you really
I don't
pay
like
for
seeing
them?
your face
yeah.
With a
through the
credit
dino
card?
mouth.
on Amazon.
You're on the grid now, motherfucker.
I
God
know.
damn it. Yeah.
And they are extremely violent and graphic.
They're very
yeah.
graphic.
They're very graphic. So graphic that I'm not going to read any here.
Really?
Yeah.
It's too much?
Is it not legally allowed?
No, it's not even that. It's just super graphic.
You know what? This reminds me. I don't want to like open up the ninja can of worms again, but seeing these two in these masks and you talking about that, it also reminds me of like I found out something really disturbing about Patreon because our friend Jessica Negri and several of her friends who have very, very, very high profile accounts on Patreon. I went to Patreon to like look up their accounts and see like what they were doing. Like I was curious on a business level of what they were doing. I want to see the structure of it all. And you can't search for them.
No, you cannot find them. They're
That
not
seems-
searchable on the platform.
So what is the purpose of being then on Patreon for them?
You still have like all the system and mechanisms to fulfill rewards
So
and
credit card processing.
Yeah.
Credit card
And
processing.
plus also
yeah.
like the allocating of users to different tiers.
So everyone who's ever gone to Jessica Negri's Patreon has gone because she linked from some other
Right, it has
source.
to be a direct link.
You literally can't find her.
No.
Like
if
on
you
the,
type Jessica Negri into Patreon, you will not find her.
she's gone. Like
I think
she's
Ma- Make Turney also, I think,
If you
yeah.
put the direct link, I believe you can. Like if you put patreon.com/Jessica Negri.
Right, but you have to know it. If you don't know it,
Right.
or click on the link from her Instagram or something like that. But I can't do that on the app. So I literally can't even like look her up on the app. I guess if I was a backer or what is it, a patron, then it would be in my account attached to it. I could do it that way. I don't know, man. That just seems really wrong to me. That just seems really
A lot
wrong.
of steps.
Yeah. It just goes back to the thing of too. It's like, it's what do you get from the platform versus what does the platform get from you? You know?
these smell bad.
What do they smell like? I'm not putting one of those on.
Yuck.
What's Gumroad?
Bernie.
What?
What's Gumroad? Is that like a new Patreon?
Gumroad? Oh, I don't know.
Gumroad? I don't know. What
I
is
want to
that?
say it's a
You tell
place
me.
to upload digital photos.
Okay. Is it?
I think it's a photo website.
Got it.
I could be wrong.
And the echo's really bad in this.
Yeah, I don't know how it sounds for the listeners.
What color is that mask?
This one?
No, yours. The
The
one
one
you're
you
holding.
have.
It's like a greenish yellow
Okay. Interesting.
or a yellowish green.
We got a huge
Which
debate.
one? Greenish yellow or yellowish green?
That's also not the color, by the way. We
It's
we
a-
could hold that mask up to the color.
It's a yellowish green.
We got a huge debate again, which has been something, there's a debate that's been raging for me. Actually, I mentioned my friend Scott, who's been on the podcast before. We would play Street Fighter 2 in the late 90s, and we would get in these arguments as to what color Blanca from Street Fighter 2 was. And I'm in the minority here.
Oh.
Is this it? Pull that up. So this is the character from Street Fighter 2. This is Blanca. And you guys can look this up online if you listen to the podcast audio version. Blanca is in every depiction of Blanca is green. They make him bright green, like a deep green. In the fucking game, he's yellow. In Street Fighter 2, where Blanca first appears,
so
he
right
is-
there, you're saying that's yellow.
that's a fucking.
You're saying that's yellow?
juice. Not what color is that?
To me,
Green.
that's
green.
a
That's
yellowish
not
green.
Green. That's yellow. I don't know how we can look. at
Is it more yellow or more green, Barbara?
Show what Blanca looks
More
like.
green.
Like,
More
just
green.
look up Blanca and show a picture of Blanca, what he's supposed to look like. Actually,
But
But that was
I think
it
it's-
from Street Fighter 2. That's what you're basing your argument on.
no, but bring me all bring me that pop figure and I'll show you the color they
I would
think
say
he
it's
is.
majority green because if you look at the edges, they're trying to do a thing with depth and shading where it's white on the spots that are closest to camera, and then it progressively gets more green in the edges.
Oh, well, that's obviously a lot more green than that picture.
Look at this.
Well, that's like a Street Fighter 5.
I'm holding
Blanca.
up a pop figure of Blanca, and he's like the Hulk.
Well, they
He's
did change his
green.
color. They made him more green over time.
But he was always depicted like on the side of
Hulk
the game.
doesn't have red hair.
He's this color as well. But in the game, he's fucking yellow. That's
Green.
a yellow color. That's
Green.
a yellow.
Green.
He's yellow.
Green.
Look at this.
Green.
That's green.
That's green because
Right.
he's green.
I don't know where the camera
Green
is.
was green too.
Good Lord, stop changing cameras on me. There you go. Pop
Can't
figure green.
ban anyone who says yellow.
No. See? Yellow as fuck. Thank you very much. Fucking yellow. People have been saying it for years. And they used to like the 2-player variants.
There's yellow at the end.
Yellow at the end there.
That's orange.
Can we agree that the middle one's blue?
Yes.
Yeah, the middle one
The
is
one
blue.
on the right's definitely orange.
But also, if you
Is it
Yellow
blue
and blue
black,
are
or-
green. So
Well,
if you
it's-
put a blue character next to him, it should draw out the blue in the green more, and
Eric,
it doesn't. He's fucking
Zoom
yellow.
in as far as you can onto his arm, the hair on his arm, and it'll be nothing but green. Keep going.
That's blue.
Other
That's
one.
blue.
He did the blue one.
That is green.
That's green.
That's green, baby.
Go closer.
That's not green.
Enhance.
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 That's orange.
To the right.
Pan right.
That's a tannish yellow.
It's a
4
green.
units to the right.
So
Stop.
somebody said in the chat, I know it's supposed to be green, but it's yellow, and that's how I feel about it.
Hey, that's green, Burns.
I used to think I was colorblind in the 90s
Can you
because
import
people
that-
kept referring to this as a green character.
Can you import that into Photoshop and ask it what the color is?
Enhance. Enhance.
There's definitely yellow in there, but the color that they're going for is to make it look greenish.
No.
Can I
the
finish
shading.
the podcast in this
Just make it, if you want to make
Tyrannosaurus
him green,
Please
just
do.
make him fucking green.
And they did. That's what they did over time, and you're mad about that.
So what color would you say this is?
That's more of a greenish yellow. That I would describe as yellow green. The color we saw on screen, I would just call fucking yellow.
What color is this?
Let's stop this.
No, what color is
The
it?
tooth?
White.
Okay, I was gonna try to trick you into saying brown, but it was the white. It was tooth. It was white.
Cool. Thanks for the explanation. Thanks for that.
Really,
Poor Blaine.
you're really rocking it tonight, Blaine. Thanks.
This stuff will make you a sexual Tyrannosaurus.
I did read though that's like the pie chart of people's reactions when you tell them you're colorblind, and it's like 1% of the people is, oh, that's interesting. 99% of the people is, what color is this? What color is this? What does this look like? And I can imagine that'd be horrifying for someone who's colorblind.
So do you suspect you're colorblind? Is that why you don't know black
I don't
color?
think I am. I don't think I see as many colors as other people.
You could
though.
do one of those online tests,
I've done those, like with the dots, and it spells the number, and then you can look at the thing and say,
and it determines like what type of colorblindness you have.
I can always see the number. I can always see the number, but it's like, maybe it's just like, and I hate to play the guy card, but maybe it's because I'm a guy. It's like when they say this color goes with that color, I don't know what that means. Like I can say two colors. You give me two colors that are the same. I'm like, those colors go together. You know,
Trevor
that's
will
great.
often ask me because he's actually colorblind.
Yes.
He's like, "What is this color?" And I have to explain the color. He's like, "Does that go with this then?" And I'll be like, "No" or "Yes." It's very cute.
Like you hear the phrase clash. Those colors clash,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't know how colors can clash, but okay.
Is it like opposite colors on the color wheel?
It's like colors that are close enough together that they don't go. Like if you wore red pants with that shirt, it would clash.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that.
But red what color is that shirt?
That's an orange shirt.
That's an orange shirt, but red's part of orange. So why wouldn't red and orange go together?
Because they're too close that there's, I don't know how fashion
But you
works,
just know
really.
it. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like I don't have that inherent like those clash. You just know it when you see it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Whatever that switch is, I don't have that switch in my head.
You dress pretty good though.
I just wear the same thing every day. Ashley posted a photo on her Instagram of her baby bump. Like she's 38 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And everyone's reacting to it. I'm so glad like nobody did the whole like look at the background thing and comment on the background, which is what usually people do in every fucking photo.
Oh, yeah.
It's like if you gotta scour your background to make sure.
Now I want to know what was wrong with the background.
No, she did it in the closet. You can literally see I've got like 24. It's not
Of
that
the
many.
same shirts.
It's like 9 though. 9 black polos just all lined up. It looks like a cartoon character's closet.
Oh. Peter H says, according to Color Picker,
Yeah, see there? Like
it's
right
dark yellow,
Mm-hmm.
olive tone.
Bull.
dark yellow.
Wait, no,
Olive
olive
tone.
tone, which is green.
The hex is 947906.
It's a dark yellow.
I'm saying it's a greenish yellow or
tone.
yellowish green.
In the photo though, you go to people's Instagram. I'm tired of talking about photos. The audio listeners are gonna be like, "What the fuck is this podcast?"
Well, we even did the same thing when we saw the ninja video. We're like, is he in the driver's seat? Like the analyzing the background and what's going on there.
They should just watch the video.
What video?
This podcast video.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah.
Go watch the podcast video where you guys ask a bunch of questions of people.
No, this one that you're currently doing. Where
Oh.
are you?
I don't know. I'm just.
He's got a baby along the way.
I thought
Eric.
I
Why
was
don't
getting
you
back to
ask
the
him-
thing that he was talking about the
nice.
podcast thing. The podcast video out in SDCC.
Did anybody else not notice the Blade Runner references I was making?
I did not.
When you did what?
When we were like zooming in, I was doing like the Blade.
Enhance.
Yeah.
Enhance.
That's CSI, dude.
Everyone says that. That's
No.
not Blade Runner.
Isn't
when
that
people
also
say
just like
make a Blade Runner reference, you don't say enhance.
No, he was like, like 4 units to the right. Stop. Zoom in on that image. He's
But you just kept saying enhance.
He also
I
said
was
those.
meaning
other
it to
things.
be a Blade Runner reference.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
They live in.
It's
He lives in an
okay,
apartment in
little
Blade Runner
guy.
2049, right?
He lives in a
Does, you wanna tell
hallway.
me about apartments?
It's okay.
You can tell it's the future because no one lives in hallways.
But people do live in the hallways in that, right?
That's the Matrix, dude. Matrix, everybody's living in the
What
hallway
reference
for
was
some
that?
reason.
No, that's also Blade Runner 2049 when he's going to his door.
That is true.
Yeah,
Well, I think they're just kind of hanging out.
they're like camping out there.
like
Every time you touch my head,
That would
you're
be your
poking
nightmare.
my eyeball.
Yeah,
Like you
Sorry, I
living
wasn't
in,
listening.
like Gus, you living in a housing project where you got to walk past like 50 people hanging out in the hallway, like 2049. That's where he lives. You would hate that, right?
yeah. People just milling about.
Also, it's really fucked up though, because it's like two visions of the future, which is maybe it's because he's an android. I'm not ruining anything by saying this.
No, it's very clear. They say it in like the first couple minutes.
Yeah, they do. Great movie, by the way. 2049 was fucking amazing. It was like they hit the pause button and just like unpaused it. What, 25 years later when they
Maybe
made that movie?
longer.
Was it 30?
Yeah, I think maybe 30.
Yeah, it was 30, like 85 to 2015. Yeah. Man, crazy. But he's in that hallway. But then when he goes in his apartment's really fucking nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it's enhanced a lot by the technology he has in there, but it's like super clean and
But it's
everything
also
like
very
that.
small, right?
It's also very small. Yeah. But like, the whole his wife character or his domestic partner
Joy?
character, Joy, is that her name?
Joy.
Yeah, that whole thing with her is like such a great part of that movie, man.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool. I love futurology of any kind. Like, I just get like so sucked into that stuff.
It's like we should be living in the future now, but somehow we're not.
Bullshit, dude. We
Yeah.
got self-driving cars that are electric. Like, when I was in Japan, I was like, this is the future.
I think we have elements of like being in the future, kind of like that. Smartphones, electric cars, all that stuff.
I talk to my
But I think-
computer to turn my lights on and off.
when
That's the future.
I guess when you picture the future, you think of everything else looking different.
Maybe
too.
it's like what he's talking about in 2049, where it's like you have two visions of the future in one, where it's like people are living in the hallway or hanging out there, but then
Yeah.
his apartment is pristine and nice. So it's like you
Yeah.
got the bad and the good, and you're dealing with both sides. of
Well,
it
you
at
shut
the
that
same
door,
time.
it's like tons of technology and holograms and everything like that, but they just didn't do that in the hallway, you know, kind of thing. Because why would they?
I feel like if people just completely adopted like the future look, like there's too many remnants of like this is supposed to be like a table that's looking rustic and stuff. So that kind of breaks the illusion of the future. But if you just like purely embrace like a future aesthetic, then it would look like
Very
everywhere
like
would look like the future.
If
Modern
anyone
and
is
clean.
confused by why Blaine sounds like he's in a well, he's still wearing the dinosaur mask. He refused
he
to
probably
take it
won't
off.
wear it for the next half hour.
It smells terrible, Blaine.
This is
I mean, it's not that bad, and I feel like I'm a dinosaur, so like that's kind of cool.
Was it backwards?
this is what worries me about Jessica Negri stuff is like this is it right here. It's super in shape, good looking person, and then this ridiculous mask on top of it. And it's just like I know a lot of people think it's really funny. I genuinely find it off putting. I really do.
I love when she wears the bird mask.
The bird ones, they're just like I don't
The
know what it is.
boudoir.
They're so off putting to me.
It was
They're
great.
It's so nuts.
Bernie, I'm a Tyrannosaurus Flex. Ooh, what's up?
That's our title.
The
That
worst
was
part
our-
about this
that was our
dinosaur
thumbnail.
mask is that Blaine isn't looking through the dinosaur's eyes. There's two eye holes in
I
the
know,
back of the
it's
mouth.
creepy.
It looks like a Beetlejuice thing.
That's
Like-
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
When she does like the long face thing.
And she pokes her eyes and they come out her
Yeah.
mouth.
I like wearing it now because it's like I have a red mohawk.
Oh hell yeah!
See, no one will be the wiser.
Peter's gonna make so many good gifts.
To go back to this piece that was given to me, I don't know, it's not a trophy exactly. I didn't like hunt the bird down or anything. But she was telling me that the comb here at the top of the rooster's head, it's not the actual comb from the rooster. She made a new one because she made it match exactly the logo to do it.
I was gonna say that comb looks very much like the logo.
And that's purple, right?
Pretty fucking crazy, right? Yeah.
That
Stop
comb?
it. Stop it. We're not talking colors anymore. We're done. I'm not colorblind. I don't think I'm colorblind. I'm just not a color expert either. I'm also that way with music, which has been very frustrating for me my entire life.
Hey, where did that camera angle come from?
From the camera up there.
Yeah.
Where?
Right here.
The camera up above.
We can't see it because the lights are too bright.
They're flying a drone in the studio.
Yeah, we got
I-
it from iJustine.
Blake, why are you
Blake,
so
what are you
excited? Because
doing?
you don't know what a camera is?
Blaine, have you ever seen a camera?
Further,
the
where
camera?
the rooster is?
Look up. Look at the screen. Look at the monitor.
You gonna break this thing? Oh my god!
Blaine. Point at it, Blaine.
You're like Chris right now.
Was it worth it?
He was
Flex.
pointing every direction but the right one.
I'm waiting for him to knock this thing off and
I thought you
break
were
it
gonna fall over just now.
because it's remarkably fragile at the same time.
Here, let me read this thing. Remind,
Factorio.
remind. Ooh, let's
If you
talk
don't
about that
read
in
it,
a
I'll
second.
talk to you about Factorio.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by Stamps.com. Back in the day, sending Red vs. Blue DVDs through the mail was a big job. You've heard us talk about it before. And one of the toughest parts Making and selling products online is the shipping. No one really wants to go to the post office. You're busy. Who's got time for all that traffic, parking, lugging all your mail and packages? It's a real hassle. That's why you need Stamps.com. Stamps.com brings all of the amazing services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer. Stamps.com is the faster, more convenient way to get postage. You can use your computer to print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send, and the mail carrier picks it up. No more lugging it to the post office. It's the best. There's no equipment to lease and no long-term commitments. This is a must-have for any small business. I use Stamps.com because I love how easy it is. I don't have to take time out of my day to plan for a trip to the post office. I can just get official postage right from my own computer. With Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off priority mail. Right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. See for yourself why over 700,000 small businesses use Stamps.com. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Rooster. That's Stamps.com, enter code Rooster. Thanks, Stamps.com, for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. Factorio?
So I decided to play Factorio this weekend, or late last week, just to I'll give it a try, just see, you know. Actually, I have a problem. We've been trying to find a game that we both want to play together. And I think we're going to play...
The game of life.
Factorio.
You have a baby.
Nice.
That's exactly what we're going to do. We're playing Raise the Baby. We're playing The Sims.
I'm just kidding.
Let me kiss them.
Age of have you seen this Age of Wonders that just came out? You know it's like a pseudo board game 4X game, Age of Wonders. It's a whole series they made. Anyway, they have one out. It's called Age of Wonders Planetfall, and I can't figure, is it based on another property because it kind of looks similar, or it's just a sci-fi version of Age of Wonders?
Is it Age of Empires?
We might play that. No, it's not related to Age of Empires. Age of Wonders has been around for a while.
Have you ever played Betrayal at House on the Hill?
It's closer to Civilization. Sorry, guys, that's me. Telemarketer, great. Everybody gets to hear that. Sorry, I gotta keep my phone on. I apologize.
You're good.
You're good, man.
I got bamboozled. I was told we were talking about Factorio.
So,
we're talking about some other shit I don't care about.
By the way, I bought Factorio and had never played it. I bought it back in 2016 because I think I saw Notch tweeting about it, and I was like, "Well, if Notch is going to tweet about it, then it's got to probably be a game that's at least compelling and interesting." So I installed it, but of course, like a lot of things on Steam, never got around to playing it for some reason. Made time for it. So I went back and was redoing my backlog or catching up on my backlog on Steam. I just played Subnautica. Have you played that?
Oh, is that steampunk submarine game?
It's a submarine game. I wouldn't call it steampunk.
I don't dig it. That aesthetic bothers me, man. It's creepy looking.
Blaine's saying that while wearing a dinosaur mask. So what do you mean? What about this? It's very futuristic to me. It doesn't seem like steampunk at all.
We might not be thinking of the same thing. Are the characters kind of it's a really stylized to look like 1800s
not at
submarine?
All. That's not Subnautica.
Different game. I was watching a Funhouse video where they were playing some submarine game. And it looked like, huh?
No, but you got it. It is submarine game, so you're close. It's
Subnautica. I mean,
yeah.
What's it? Fuck. I can't remember what it's called.
All right.
Well, it's really good that you're participating.
But have you played Factorio, Blaine?
Nah, man, I'm super behind on the game.
Factorio is the number 2 most highly rated game on Steam.
Let me think of this. What would be number 1 highest rated?
It's rated number 2 with a 96.71% rating.
Half-Life 2.
No, what is it?
Factorio has 96.71% rating on Steam.
And something else has higher than that. And you have
One
it there in front of you?
I do.
How old
Would
is
you like
it?
to make a guess? Anybody?
How old is it?
I'm not going to say.
I'm going to
Just on
guess Breath of the Wild.
I
Half-Life 2.
got to guess.
Steam's not...
I feel good about
Oh,
this.
Steam. Sorry, I thought this was just games. Oh, God.
I got to pick between a sequel or the original. I'm going to say it's one of the Portal games.
I'm going to say one of the Tetris games or Half-Life 2.
Skyrim.
Portal 2.
Whoa.
Fucking nailed it. Look at me.
97.34.
Look at that. This
Portal
is why you tune
is-
into this podcast.
Portal
for
is number 4.
Expert opinions
What?
on our industry.
What is the rating for Zelda Breath of the Wild on?
This is just Steam. That's all I have in front of me.
Yeah, but I mean, is there
Like
like a...
Metacritic and...
Yeah, I
can
guess.
look at Metacritic. I'm sure on Metacritic it's like
It's got to be in the 90s at least.
99 or
least.
something.
What's up?
I'm probably 5% of the way through Factorio, based on just things that you unlock as you progress.
If you're
play this
if you're
game.
lucky.
I still don't know
So,
what
I'll
Factorio
explain
is.
it to you really
I'm gonna
simply.
write it down because I want to play when I get
97.
home.
So it's like a resource game where it's like you're on a planet, you
Factorio.
crash land. It's actually kind of similar to Subnautica in terms of the narrative device that motivates the game. And you're just a dude, an astronaut, but you have science on your side. So you're like,
Naturally.
oh, here's a little deposit of coal. Here's a little deposit of steel, iron.
yeah.
Here's a little deposit of copper. And then here's stone. And then you just like mine it with your little pick, ding, 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 ding. And then you mine enough of that stuff and you think, okay, well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the steel that I mined with my pick.
There you go, right
That's
there.
what it looks like.
I'm gonna build a little machine that mines in the bottom left there. I'm gonna build a little. I don't even want to see this. I don't want to look at this stuff because I'm gonna think I'm gonna try to figure out how it works. So you build a little mining machine, the little mining machine that spits out little nuggets of iron that it makes. You're like, well, I gotta get that to somewhere else. So then you make a little conveyor belt that takes it to a furnace, and then there's a little robotic arm that you can get that takes stuff off the conveyor belt and puts it in the furnace.
It's a factory.
Then once it's just like a factory. So it's like you're automating everything. It's a game of automating every single thing you do.
The ultimate goal is you're stranded on this planet. If you research enough and get enough materials, you can build a spaceship to leave the planet.
So like,
So it's like you start with nothing, and it's like, okay, I need to research, I need to gather stuff, and then you eventually start building enough to where I can build a spaceship and I can leave.
so it looked like a real-time strategy game. It looked like Command and Conquer to me.
There's
Yeah.
almost there is a threat in the game, but there really isn't.
How
There is, though.
this
Is
might
there?
be
Look, what happens is the more you pollute, the more it angers them, and the more frequently they'll start showing up.
Okay.
Oh, do you build like defenses?
Yeah,
Yes.
gun turrets and walls and stuff like
Bro,
that too.
anytime I used to play Red Alert, I would just build an entire perimeter of pillboxes around.
Oh, pillbox is the best.
Yeah, and then like one dude would come and there'd just be like 18 pillboxes just vaporizing this one guy.
Yep. Now, you would probably like this. Also, you'd probably like They Are Billions. Have you played that yet?
No, what is that?
It's a kind of like a real-time strategy game, but it's very roguelike. I'm gonna upset Gus. We had a whole game time about it where I called it roguelike and he got upset. It's like a modern RTS, but like you play and see how far you can get essentially. It's almost like survival RTS.
So then it's not like mission based. It's just like it's gonna randomly generate stuff for you or what?
A little bit. It's like there's a regular event that happens. It's like a zombie horde thing. And like this massive horde of zombies just comes through and the horde gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I don't dig that. You know, like Gears of War Horde mode, and then what was the Halo one? The one where it's like
What was it? The one with
It's
the
like
grunts. We
horde
played it.
mode.
We came out
Yeah,
on
we
ODST.
flood?
Firefight.
Firefight?
Thank you. Firefight. That's
But,
it.
like,
Thank you.
I feel like those had ends to them, and sometimes you'd make it, and like when you did, you're like, oh yes, but like to have no end in sight, I lack motivation to complete it. or to
I
keep
played
going.
a traditional horror mode the other day, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to play this even more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Right.
It Gears started, I felt like.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
At least that was the first really popular one of it, and I was like, ugh. But we just played Portal 2 for game time. They had the ping system back in Portal 2. Like,
I
it was
fucking
really
love Portal
prevalent.
2.
What?
I played Portal 2 before I played the first Portal.
Portal 2's so good.
It's
But-
amazing.
It's a great game, except it's a terrible game to watch somebody else play.
Yeah.
It's legitimately like you watch someone else play it and you want to tear your fucking eyes out.
Yeah, because you're like, do that.
Yes.
Go over there.
I think any puzzle game where you know the solution and watching someone else not be able to do the solution.
Man, there's nothing worse also, like, even just by yourself playing Portal 2,
Yeah.
where you're like, this puzzle's impossible. Then you figure out, like, oh, I'm really
I'm
stupid.
An idiot.
But it's always like that. It's like you just missed the thing, and it's like, oh, like we were trying to do these portals to get this thing off. We realized we could just hand it across this barrier. You know what I mean? It's like the simple solution. Sometimes you get so wrapped up in the mechanic, it's just like, oh, we can just walk
It
this
has
thing in.
been trying at times to do the RT Twitch stream, which we do every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Check it out, twitch.tv/RoosterTeeth. But
It's got porn on it.
something that I've noticed is like I go on streams and play a lot of horror games where one person is controlling it. And a lot of those horror games are puzzle based. And so when you have like, you know, it's John and then me and usually like 2 or 3 other people all trying to do this thing. And I'm like, no, just if you just put that over there and just that'll open that and you could do that. And it's just trying to sit back and like kind of let the person who's playing it figure out.
Especially when you're not playing, just like you can see so much
gotta-
more clearly.
You gotta nudge
Yeah.
it.
Zero patience. Like Christina, there's a clip that's going around of me just screaming at her to light a candle. It was
We were
rough.
playing this game that basically one of the mechanisms is when you don't get access to light, you start to go insane. And then when you start to go insane, stuff happens and then the game's over and you got to restart in the last save point. And we were trying to get her to put a candle down on this table and light it so that we would have access
Sanity.
to light. And our sanity was slowly going lower and lower. And Blaine was just like, light the candle! Christina! Light it! And we
Oh,
were
I
all
was
just
there
like
for that. I had to come
screaming.
into the room to see what the hell was going on.
Didn't you scare us?
I did. I went-
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's a necessity. You have to do that kind of stuff.
And once Vicious Circle comes out tomorrow, maybe we can be streaming that.
Dude, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. And we have the stream going on this Friday,
Friday.
right? Vicious Summer. I think it's from 3 to 9.
Yeah, it's a 6-hour live stream with a bunch of people are going to be there. Some people are flying in for it. It's kind of going to be like a mix between playing the game and some maybe fun extra life type activities you might see. Very excited. I'm going to be on one of the teams, so I'm going to be bringing them way down. Can't wait.
Such a fun game.
Yeah. I'm
do you
still
main?
so bad at it.
I like Captain Boom.
Captain Boom's fucking great.
Yeah.
I like Jeff's character the most.
I feel like lots of people play Blitz. Yeah.
I think it depends on what, and we'll probably have ongoing balancing. I've always played Crash and Burn, which is Michael and Lindsay voice that character.
I've heard Zella is like one of the best characters to play from a couple people here.
Now she fucking sucks.
Barb voices Zella in that.
I hate when you're the chicken and Zella disappears. I hate when you're Peggy Sue, I should say.
Oh.
And then Zella disappears. You're like,
Yeah, she has that cloaking ability.
it's awful.
Yeah, trailer's
good.
coming out. If you're listening to this podcast live, it comes out tomorrow, I think, the final trailer for it. And then if you're listening to, you could probably have already seen it if you're listening to this later on some other thing.
Congratulations, time traveler.
And hopefully Walmart doesn't declare it a violent video game and remove it from store shelves.
What's up with that?
My
Is that listen? I can't.
going crazy.
I can't figure out anymore. I can't figure out what's real and what's not. I'm really at that point, dude. Like I read 1984 as a kid.
It seems
and
stupid.
It seems so dumb.
Dumb.
Like they had the boxes and he's writing these things from the ministry of whatever he works for, and it's like no one's gonna believe this. It's double speak stuff. No one's gonna believe. You know who wouldn't see through that in 2 seconds? And it's like I'm at a point now in my real life where I just like. I almost feel like I don't want to comment on anything because it's like it's only a matter of time before that's completely disproven. Like this thing you're saying about Walmart taking video games off the shelves, like IGN issued a huge retraction on that. I don't know if that's true or
the
not.
retraction was that I believe, if I remember right, I'll look it up in a second, that corporate Walmart didn't pass down that rule that the local Walmart was doing that themselves.
But there was a guy posted a photo on Twitter of literally the display case of video games at Walmart, which you've all seen a billion times, big glass case, and it's empty except for like a handful of games. And they were apparently all the ones rated E. That's all they left in there was that. Which, by the way, Walmart was where the shooting was in El Paso about a week and a half ago. Funny that I can't remember the specific date when it happened. And Walmart also sells guns and ammunition. So they banned the sale of video games, according to the story, but they're still selling guns and ammunition in the stores.
Here's the update. So IGN, like I said, reported Walmart's pulling violent video games from the shelves, but the retailer responded saying it has not directed stores to remove them or halt sales. Instead, the company is removing signage, advertisements, and demos for some video games featuring violence and firearms.
But all the guns that's being sold in stores are still.
Yes. The quote is, "We've taken this action out of respect for the incidents of the past week, and it does not reflect a long-term change in our video game assortment. We're focused on assisting our associates and their families, as well as supporting the community as we continue a thoughtful and thorough review of our policies."
But why just video games? Why not movies, too?
Why is it that one department?
Right.
Why not like a John Wick poster where there's a million guns, like the John Wick 2, or is it 3, the John Wick 3 poster?
Where all the guns all around them?
Parabellum.
Right.
I don't know if that's in stores yet, but yeah. I see your point, though. It's like, why just video games? It does seem like a response specifically to, rhetoric that video games cause violence, which growing up, violent movies and violent TV shows, I grew up watching fucking Friday the 13th. That was gruesome shit. Like, it was teenagers getting, like, massacred, and teenagers would watch this.
My parents rented a copy of Predator on VHS for my 9th birthday, and it was the fucking best birthday ever.
I bet, dude.
Yeah.
Well, it was after you saw that turkey get killed in front of you.
It was a rooster.
Rooster, my bad.
That was years ago.
Dude,
Predator fucks, dude.
I hate
It was
to
awesome.
I hate to put stuff out there in the world that I feel like someone's gonna spend a lot of time on, but I would love to see an image of like the Predator when he like and he pops the mask off and it's your grandfather. he pulls it off with fucking dreadlocks. I don't even know what your grandfather looks like.
It's a darker skinned version of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you? How upset on a scale of 1 to 10 would you be if I named my son Gustavo Raul Sorolla the Fourth?
Listen, it's a quality name.
The Fourth. Like I literally said, this tradition has now changed families.
Jumped. Go for it.
We take it away from you, and you can't do it. Would you be upset with me?
Go for it.
You'd be upset.
No, I'm not gonna have a kid.
Can you get a new dog and name it Gustavo Sorolla the Fourth?
Yeah, because you're not having kids.
Why not?
Why don't you? Because that'll be your kid.
Which Henry are we on? I stopped tracking Henrys after the 8th. Henry the 8th. Are we like up to 12
British
now?
royalty?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anybody know? Like, can I
Are
name my
there, are
kid?
there more Henrys?
Can I name my kid Henry the Ninth? Can I just do that?
Sure, you could do whatever you want.
Would he have a claim to the throne?
No.
Probably not.
Probably
Why not?
I would say.
How do like? How do we get rid
You
of
don't
it?
just name someone and they fucking jump into the royal family.
But like the royals were like they were getting defeated and they're all thrown out and everything. I'm assuming I know shit about English royalty, but I'm assuming that's like different lineages and different families that were king. It's not one family this whole fucking time, is it?
I don't
Is it?
know. Where's Gavin? Well, Gavin wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know.
I'm trying to look it up and I'm typing stuff in like, are we still numbering Henrys? I don't know how else to look up.
So
what this
the,
is.
the fuckers that are in there now, can you overthrow them and that's legit? Like if you can overthrow them, can you then
What do you
become
mean
the royal
overthrow
family?
them? Like storm the castle?
Yeah, like
Or
go
storm
in and,
Buckingham Palace?
I guess you'd have to steal the jewels. Is that what it is?
What makes
Like,
it? So do the
they have-
jewels make them
I
the
don't
royalty?
know. I'm just thinking like a video game. Like, what's the goal? You get like I got the
Like-
crown jewels.
Like you take the crown off of the queen and you put it on your own
That's
head?
it. That's it.
I feel like it has to be accepted by the people. Like it has to have the endorsement of the people. If we're talking like legitimately.
But the British people don't vote in the monarchy or anything.
It makes
I
no
don't know.
sense. It makes no sense because
How does Brexit affect this?
well they go back to being
So then do they
royal
have
family
more
of
power?
of the island, but now it's not even going to be that because I think Scotland's now going to have another referendum to go independent.
Speaking of Brexit, did you guys watch The Great Hack on Netflix?
I still haven't seen it.
I have.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Well, I make this caveat every time we talk about it, like in personal circles, and I haven't talked about it, I don't think, on the podcast yet. I want to prepare everybody. It's a very, very left-leaning documentary, which a lot of people will automatically tune out, and I get it. I get that. I lean to the left, and so I don't mind that stuff as much, but I can definitely see how hard that leans left because it's based on the last election. It's a very important thing to watch, though, I think, to just see how people's personal data that's out there in a public
Yes.
space can be used
Against you.
in ways that you wouldn't want.
Absolutely.
And even if you like the outcome of the election, just understand how the same thing could be done to make something that you really don't like. you
Yes.
know?
It's more about personal data than anything.
Just because you mentioned the election, that makes me think about something I saw on the local news.
It's on Netflix, right?
Last week.
Yeah.
Great hack, yeah.
Netflix.
What'd you see, guys?
The local election commissioner was on the news. I guess they were invading. Like Travis County is getting new voting systems. Like we're gonna have new voting machines for November, and they're talking about all the features of this voting machine and how much better it is than the old one. And the woman who's demoing it, who is our election commissioner here in Travis County, she says, the machines run Windows 7, which is older, but since it's older, it's more secure. And I was like, that's not how that works.
That's
So
not how that works at all.
I looked it up, and Microsoft is ending support for Windows 7 this January.
They don't update for security holes and stuff.
Right. As of January
right.
2020, as of 2 months after they install this new voting system, there will be no more security updates.
Just that statement for someone who's in charge of that, just making that blanket statement about digital security scares the shit out of me.
Right. It's like, well, these are the people that are making the decisions for securing our vote, and it's inherently flawed from the beginning. Like, how do you fix that?
Yeah.
I just had an idea for a name for your son, Bernie.
Go for it.
Call him Journey Burns, and he could be like a small adventurer who goes and travels the world.
Wow.
Journey Burns?
I actually
Journey
love
Burns.
that. Journey's a great name.
Spelled like Journey or just J in the front of my name?
Just like Journey, like the fucking sick band.
Or like taking a journey?
Like an adventure.
Okay. What does that have to do with Burns?
Well, like
Oh.
it rhymes with your name.
Oh, like
It's
Bernie
like, hey,
Journey.
I'm Bernie. This
Bernie
is my
and
son
Journey.
Journey.
Why don't you name him Kearney Burns, and he can work on fonts all day and spacing between letters?
Or Corn.
You get a job popping popcorn.
Exactly.
Journey would be a great middle name, though, based off your other son's middle names.
I'm,
You
hav-
give him Lerny Burns, and he could be a teacher.
I'm having a kid right now. We should do? We should take like a bunch of surveys of like what
I think it's the fumes.
his life is going to be like at like 30. Like what? I can't even imagine like what a job would be when he's like 25. I just don't know what jobs are going to be. They'll be this, right? Everyone will just have like a YouTube channel.
PewDiePie apologizer?
Oh, God.
Journey Burns, he could drive an ambulance.
I'm not an apologizer.
No, your son will be.
No. They'd be like, look, it was a different time.
Or if he works for a hospital, Gurney Burns.
Gurney Burns. I have some names. I'm probably never even going to say what his name is publicly, probably. Because I've learned just don't talk to people. If you're going to have a kid, never just throw out the names you're considering because people have very strong opinions of names.
I think you have a lot of great options from the last 5 minutes.
Turney Burns, he'd be a big fan of Meg.
Gustavo Raul Sorolla IV.
That's a quality name. That's all I'm saying.
What I would like to name him.
It wasn't.
Sigourney Burns.
It wasn't.
I would do it too.
It wasn't the original Gustavo, by the way. It was my other grandfather
Your other. Oh, you're got you.
who killed the
You're
Who
the
killed the
third?
bird?
the bird. Huh? Yeah, I'm the third.
Yeah,
He's a third.
Durney Burns,
Was
big
there
Laura
one-
Dern fan.
Was there a point in time when you went by Raul at all?
No,
I
never.
could see you going by Raul.
I think I'm going to stop going by Gus.
And you're gonna go by Gustavo?
I think so.
Is there motivation for that?
Could I still call you Gus?
Yeah, you can call me Gus. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I've always like tried to truncate it, and lately I've been thinking about it, and it's like I don't know why I bother doing that. Like,
I've always called you Goose.
I like my
Because
name.
Goose is short for Gustavo.
I like my name.
You like
It's like why would
Gustavo?
I not use Gustavo? So I don't know. I just like it.
Would you say it twice on the podcast? Still, you're still gonna go with that? Would you say-
Gustavo
And
and
Gustavo.
Gustavo.
Oh yeah, would you introduce
I
yourself
already
on the
asked him to
podcast
change
now?
my credit in the closing credits on the podcast.
To Gustavo?
Yep.
To Gustavo. I
Interesting.
asked him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we did it.
That's change your name's a big deal.
I'd change my name. I'd change my name in a second.
I would change my name in a heartbeat.
No, Barbara's so classic and cool.
Barbara Dunkelman. There's so many people I've met
You can change your name, by the way.
where I know
Okay.
you can, but it's like at what point is it too late?
I'm talking about it at 41, so.
Yeah, but you're still your name.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like me going by Barb versus Barbara.
Barb.
You know, still my name.
What would you change it to?
Samson.
I don't know.
Journey Burns?
Probably something a lot simpler.
Oh.
I never liked my full
You should
name.
change it to Mariel Salcedo.
Do change it to Muriel.
Muriel. Murray L.
There's a couple people in this company that won't tell you how to pronounce their name. Like you ask them specifically and they won't tell you.
You mean
And
Louise?
Muriel was one of them for a long time. I'm like, Meg calls you Muriel. Muriel, or whatever the pronunciation that Meg uses for it. And I was like, but I've always said Mariel. So should I say Mariel or Muriel? She goes, whatever. And I'm
Yep.
like, please
That's
tell me.
such a Mariel answer
Just
too.
tell me what you want. Tell me what you want your name said like. And she's like, nah, that's
Say Merle, like Merle Haggard.
Merle.
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 You say Merle?
Like Merle Haggard. It's like a joke, you know.
I
like,
gotcha.
That's like
And I
my
think
nickname.
I call
I
her
think
Merle,
Meg
too.
says that because of Muriel's wedding.
What?
Is it Muriel?
The
Oh,
old,
God,
the
we're
old, the
lost
old,
now.
the
We're
old
done.
movie, right?
Elon.
Muriel.
Someone said Elon Burns. I kind of like that.
Elon.
Oh God, please.
No, I won't.
That guy's clearly a Bond villain.
Yeah, Barbara Collins sounds pretty good.
Oh, there was a really funny thing. What was it?
are
God
you
damn it.
saying?
I didn't save it.
I caught that.
There was a really funny article where NASA issued a challenge to SpaceX. Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Which they said, NASA said to SpaceX, issuing a public challenge of like, hey, if you can land a spacecraft on the moon by this date, I think it was like something in 2021. It was
Yeah.
relatively soon. Then we'll do a series of missions with you going to Mars. And like the top comment I read on that was like, hey, I just want to issue a challenge to everybody else. If you buy a Lamborghini, I'll ride around in the Lamborghini with you. It's like, what kind of that thing is like, I wish I could do that. I was like NASA going, hey, can someone just build me this thing and then I'll go on it with you and I'll just go to the moon with you? Let's go do that. It's fun,
Yeah.
right?
Great challenge, NASA.
Just a funny challenge. Some of the way it was worded in particular was like, especially like just like very privileged challenge that NASA was issuing.
That's, yeah. Well, I mean, that's their prerogative, right? They got to find the private sector to do it because we're not going to give them the money.
Sad.
Yeah, but then what is NASA bringing to the table? They must be bringing funds for the mission.
They're bringing, government contracts to launch.
Well,
Yeah,
which is
well,
what
satellites.
SpaceX. That's what SpaceX makes all their money from, right? Sorry, Blaine. I never know when you're talking because I can't see you like your face.
We don't speak T-Rex.
All of a sudden, I just hear a mumble coming out of that thing.
I
don't
can
mean
hear
to
it.
keep cutting you off.
Here, let me read this thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Receipts Podcast is also brought to you by Experian. The better your credit score, the easier it is to get the stuff you want, and you may even pay less. So the question is, why is it so hard to raise your score? Thanks to Experian, it won't be. They launched Experian Boost, a brand new way to instantly increase your credit scores for free. A higher credit score can help you get access to credit and preferred rates for the things you want and need in life, like a car, as we just said, a house, or your first credit card. Experian is on a mission to help boost up America's credit score, which will help millions of people across the country build and get better access to credit. It used to take months to see your credit score rise a point or two. With Boost, you can see an increase in your credit scores instantly. Boost is free to use and only available from Experian. I wish service like this would have been around when I was younger. Understanding credit score could have really helped me make better decisions. It could have probably helped me get a house sooner than I ended up doing. It would have been great. So I can't believe it's taken this long for someone to do this. What are you waiting for? Experian Boost can potentially help you establish or increase your access to credit. Boost your FICO score instantly for free. Boost is only available at Experian.com/RT. That's experian.com/RT. Thanks, Experian, for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. I read a disturbing story earlier today. There was this guy I think it was in California,
He lived in a hallway.
who had gotten a new car and he wanted to get a vanity license plate. So he thought, what's like a weird vanity license plate I can get that'll like maybe fuck with the DMV a bit?
Drug car.
He got the license plate null. Null.
Shit.
Yes.
I can already see where this is going.
No.
So, and he said there was no problem the first year or so he had the car, but then he got a parking ticket, an expired meter or something. And then after he got that parking ticket, the tickets just didn't stop coming. He got $12,000 of tickets mailed to him.
Oh.
It's because there was an outside vendor that was processing all of the tickets for whatever city he lived in. And when they didn't have a full license plate number, they assigned it to null, like a null value.
Oh my God. So he got all of those tickets.
All of the unassigned tickets sent to him.
He should know better. If he knows what null is,
He was giving a presentation at DEF CON.
Oh, okay.
when he did this. So yeah, he knew that he was gonna maybe start something.
I think you say like he crashed the system for millions of users.
So then he had to explain to the city, like, it wasn't me, there's no way, my license plate is just null. So the city told him, well, just change your license plate number. He said, well, no, because I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So they said they took
This
care of
sounds
the
like a DEF CON presentation.
Yes. So they said they took care of the problem, not to worry about it. But he said all they did was erase that $12,000 of fines. All the new tickets are still getting assigned to him. So he said he still has like another $6,000 that have shown up since then in tickets that they say that he owes. But
What's DEF CON?
it's not him. It's like a hacker
Sounds like
conference.
TED Talks.
It's like a hacker conference.
Okay, got
And
it.
it's the one that's always in Vegas,
I think
right?
it's always in Vegas, yeah.
And there's always events it used to be in early January, and early January is like a big time for like a bunch of events taking place in Vegas at the same time. There was what is now the Streamy Awards. There was variations of the Web Awards that took place in early January. CES, early January in Vegas. The AVN Porn Awards, also at the same time. And then DEF CON as well. So I won't say what event I was there to attend. It wasn't the Porn Awards. But I was there, and I remember
Missed out.
I logged on to the public Wi-Fi in the casino, and I was with somebody. I go, remember DEF CON's going on right now? I was like, fuck. I mean, I was just like, I'm sure I logged on to like some node that somebody set up, and I just like immediately transferred all my bank information to him. I was worried about that for months.
I was there with you.
You were there?
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, wasn't us and Drew Curtis from FARC?
It was.
Yeah.
And we found out, and I remember I turned my phone off. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not turning it back on the whole time we're here.
Good call.
Yeah, like they just set up stuff like they'll set up like a version of like a small cell tower or Wi-Fi hotspots.
Wait, so they like actively try to hack people while this con is going
Not
on?
only do they try to actively hack people, they have a wall where they post people's personal information to show people that they got.
You know,
they used to.
there was a presentation a few years ago that was really disturbing. That was, I sent a pizza to your girlfriend.
Oh, God.
Where it was like, someone was like, I was able to, like, he picked some person at random. It was like, I was able to find every bit of information about this random person. I found out where they live. I found out where their significant other lives. And so I sent a pizza to his girlfriend.
Fuck.
I mean, there's worse things that could happen to your girlfriend. But
But
that's still fucking scary.
it's like all kinds of really
That
extreme
would make me so
edge case hacks like that.
uneasy.
I went to the river this weekend, and they had a rope swing, and I must have gone up that thing like 30 fucking times. I'm like really low in oxygen, by the way. It's like I got 10 minutes left.
You want me to fix this for
No.
you?
You can fix
I got
this
10 minutes
easily.
left. I'm committing. Anyways, I went to the bottom, and I got water in my nose, and then I immediately started working about those brain-eating fucking amoebas.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if that's like a myth or what.
No, it's not a myth.
They're real.
So like, what's that
Maybe
like?
that explains tonight.
Huh?
So the amoeba that lives in warm waters, it goes in your nose.
Okay.
They're everywhere.
Are
But
they?
but for some reason, just sometimes they get into someone's brain. They go, to the brain stem, and then they just start eating and multiplying. And it's one of those things, kind of like rabies. When you start to exhibit symptoms, you're pretty much dead.
It's too late.
Like
How long did it take effect?
I think it's just a few days.
Yeah, when did you go rope swinging?
Yesterday.
I
Yeah,
think
it's like,
you're
it's like
okay.
2 days.
You
People
would-
get water up their nose all the time.
From what I understand, you wouldn't know it, Blaine. The rest of us would immediately see it because the people go through immediate and very drastic changes in personality, like massive changes in personality.
So I'm good.
They
'cause
get
this is
scaly
on par.
skin.
Yeah, right. They
Open
can't identify
mouth.
the color yellow anymore. It looks like green to them.
Well, that's why for those neti pots, they give you the solution to put in the water that does something to it. But basically, because you're putting tap water into this thing,
I think they tell you don't put tap water.
don't put tap water, or like
Yeah.
boil it, or put the solution in that they give you for it.
Putting
So
boiling water up your nose.
Sodium. Gotcha. Yeah.
Interesting.
Filtered or boiled water, not tap water.
DEF
Because,
CON has something called not the Wall of Shame. I called it. It's the Wall of Sheep. From wallofsheep.com. What is the Wall of Sheep? The Wall of Sheep is an interactive demonstration on what can happen when network users let their guard down. We passively observe the traffic on a network, looking for evidence of users logging into email, websites, or other network services without the protection of encryption. And
It's a shame one of those VPN services isn't our sponsor tonight.
then they post that up there. So yeah, it's it's kind of like goes back to the great hack thing, Barb. We were just talking about. It's like people so willingly put so much information out there that they just kind of trust it's okay.
Do you think that's because humans are like narcissistic at heart, where it's like they want people to know about them and everything? Which is why when Facebook started, people were eager to like, oh yeah, I want to put my birthday and where I grew up and all these photos of me. Is it a narcissism thing?
It's
What
a service,
is that?
and it's a service. It's a valuable service, but there's an old saying, which is, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. And so what people don't realize is that they get all this stuff for free, and really what they're doing is they're providing an exceptional amount of personal data that in the past, media companies especially, paid hundreds of millions of dollars to try to figure out. Like, they take a broadcast show, like ABC, they broadcast from their towers. They couldn't even, after they broadcasted, they had no fucking clue who watched those things, but they had to report to advertisers who was watching their programming. So that's what the Nielsen ratings are. They're just surveys. They're like a selected group of families that keep a diary of everything they watch, like a paper diary. And then they process that, and then they tell the advertisers, which is I don't know how many $1 billion a year industry is advertising.
I
and it was all based on
Nielsen
that.
Changed it though. Like they have a watch box that you can.
That was one of them, the set-top box.
Okay.
But it's still just it's a market sample. It's a sampling of people.
Yeah, they really have no clear idea.
Now it's way more sophisticated. The reason why I was saying, hey, why don't you go set your DVRs for Shark Week Immersion is those are things that count now, because now they have more technology that's connected. A TV was not connected. It was a one-way transmission, and it just received. That's it. Didn't send out any information. So they had to go through all that stuff before.
I remember in college they sent out these surveys one time, like, what TV are you watching? If you do this survey, here's money. Like they actually sent you.
They say a $5 bill.
Yeah, and then like all of the college kids at my co-op weren't realizing that. They just thought it was junk mail. So like there was just a trash can filled with money, and I like sent out an email. I was like, "Hey, you guys are throwing away cash," and like people went out and got it. But I might have gotten a couple of bucks.
Nice.
I always tear up junk mail before I throw it away, and it always makes me so aggravated when like they put like a nickel or something in it, and it's like, I can't throw away a nickel. It's just like I just can't bring myself to do it. It's like it's almost like I can't throw away batteries either. I just can't
Well,
make myself
something
do that.
I find out that's a little scary is when you get mail and there's like, oh, you're approved for a loan. Here's a real check that you could deposit. What I found out is if you deposit that check, you're immediately owing this loan company.
It's
so,
contract,
but anybody could deposit that check.
True.
If someone came across that in your trash, they could deposit it.
Also seems very predatory.
Dude, you just reminded me of something that I wanted to talk about. Can I talk about this?
Well, I don't know what you're going to say, but yeah.
This is fucking crazy. So this is something that's come up on Venmo for me. And it's like this thing that's organically happened that is driving me a little fucking nuts. And that is probably about 6 months ago, maybe longer, we got in a conversation about Austin and sugar babies. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And Gavin said to me that, I said, what would you charge to be my sugar baby? And he said, $3,000 in a month? I was like, I could probably crowdfund that right now. And so as a joke, I said, let's crowdfund and we'll make Gavin my sugar baby. A couple of people found my Venmo and sent me like 10 cents towards the Gavin Sugar Baby Fund. One guy sent me $3 and I sent it back to him. I said, nah, that's funny, but please don't send me money. It's fine. He sent me $3 for the Gavin Sugar Baby Fund. Fast forward to whatever it is now, maybe 6 months to a year later, he writes me back and he goes, well, it didn't work last time with only $3, so here's $6. He sent me $6. So then I thought, that's kind of funny. And I went to go back, send him back his $6. And I was like, you know what? I said, hey, you know what? Two can play this game. Here's $12. I sent him $12.
Oh, no.
So then he sends me $24.
No.
So I was like, all right, I'm kind of curious. So I sent him $48. So now he's sending me $96 via Venmo. So now we're in this like chicken match.
Stop.
But the moment I stop, I'm either gonna take money from him.
No, just stop at 0. Don't give him any more. Zero it out.
Like, just send him what he sent me,
Right.
and that's it. I guess
Yeah.
that could be the way out. You gave me the way out, but
You needed help to figure this out?
there is. I've been in a panic about this because now I'm kind of curious how far this will go. And Chad's got the worst advice ever. He goes, "You should really show him up." He goes, "Just send him $1,000." I go, "Chad, that's terrible advice. That's me losing $1,000. I hope it doesn't get anywhere near that amount. I've got to. If next time he sends me money back, I got to send him $192 to keep this like one-upmanship going.
Don't. Just send him the exact amount, and that's it.
Just send it back to 96.
Yes, that's
right.
it.
And then we're all
You're done.
even Steven and I get out of this.
That's your
right.
Don't encourage it
But,
anymore.
but aren't you kind of curious how far it can go?
No. You know how far it goes? To fucking prison.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't trust it.
Well, yeah.
Some scam.
Now I'm worried about going to prison for Venmo.
I saw some other DEF CON presentation. That's what this reminded me of.
His name's Kevin, by the way. Kevin, my eyes are on you.
I saw this other DEF CON presentation where someone was talking about this scam that's going on right now on eBay. The person giving the presentation said that they wanted to buy some Nespresso pods. So they went on eBay and they looked and they saw this really good deal where like they could get like, I forgot the number, like 200 espresso pods, but it was like half price.
Nice.
So they're like, oh, okay, I'll buy that.
Just want to say, Nespresso might be the single most overrated product in the
I
world.
agree. I
In the
agree.
world.
This story's going to get a little complicated, so I'm going to use names here.
Okay.
Let's say it was Blaine. Blaine goes on eBay and buys some Nespresso pods that are half price. He wins the auction. When Blaine gets his Nespresso pods, besides just the Nespresso pods, there's also an espresso machine in there.
Sweet.
But that's not what you bought.
Oh.
So you bought it from Barbara, let's say. So you email Barbara and you say, hey, I just wanted these Nespresso pods, but you sent me a machine as well. And Barbara said, I just wanted you to be a happy customer, so I sent you an espresso machine on top of the Nespresso pods that you bought. When in reality, what happened was Barbara stole Bernie's personal information, opened up a new credit card in your name without you knowing it, sold Nespresso pods, bought an espresso machine, and sent it here. It didn't cost her anything, but she gets the money from Blaine. So she's taking a credit card, making fake transactions, stealing money from you, and getting hard cash in return from it from this side.
So she's just stealing from me to sell other people's stuff.
Right.
But why does he get a free Nespresso machine in that?
Just so they leave a positive feedback so that they can keep doing this, selling other things to other people.
So they're like spending $200 on my account just to get more feedback on their $30 Nespresso scam?
Right, because it doesn't matter to them because it doesn't cost them anything.
Dude,
my God.
Dude, that speaks to me on such a level of like, I can't tell you the number of things in my life these days that feel like someone going, well, just do like 5 more times the thing that you should normally do because you'll get a little bit more of an effect. It's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not like, I don't want to constantly just keep like nose to the grindstone. It's like, let's be more effective in the things that we do. All the fucking time I have this fucking conversation. But the people that are working the angle, it's like, it doesn't affect them in any way. So why the fuck would they care?
Right.
Why would they care?
Like it sounds ridiculous, but it's no more work for them.
It is no more money out of Barb's pocket to sell my Nespresso machine. You're just stealing more money from me.
It's exactly the same. Doesn't
Fucking
matter
crazy.
one way or another.
I want Nespresso.
I actually with this Venmo thing with doubling down with Kevin, I'm watching you. Fuck off. Don't send me $96. Take the 48 and walk. This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Send it to me.
Don't send me the $96. Take it. Take your money. Walk away up.
Don't send us money.
Don't. Please do not.
Stop.
Please do not. I'll just shut that off. Literally, this was funny to me, though. This was the only thing I ever thought about making public. But I do wonder, how come Venmo hasn't given rise to those age-old scams of like me and this guy, Kevin, we're in this like 2-person Ponzi scheme, essentially is what it is. But why haven't we seen a rise of those like chain letter things of like, hey, I got a list and you send the person at the top of the list, you Venmo them like $1 or whatever. And it's always the person that like made it in such a way that they make
everything
5 times 5 times 5, you know, but it seems like, oh, if this keeps going, well, I'll make money. If you ever see anything like that online, don't fall for it.
Don't do it.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If anybody ever sends you double the amount of money you sent them, do not respond, even if it's funny.
That is.
Now I'm trapped.
But that's also
my life is falling apart.
That's also like the most common scam you see, like people talk about on Reddit, where it's like, I bought something online, or someone bought something from me online, and they sent me more money than I expected, and they told me just to cash the check and to send them the balance back. It's always a fake check. It's always a fake check.
Always a fake
check. You send them the money, the check bounces, and you're out all of it.
I did that.
Don't let anyone send you more. Don't let anyone send you more money than they should.
Yeah, no, it's true. I'm actually kind of losing money to transaction fees with this joke, but it was funny. It hasn't gotten completely out of hand yet, but it's about to be. I'm about to lose $24 if he keeps my 48 and walks away. Then I'm fucked. What am I gonna do? But I had that recently. I did something out of spite where there's a little gym near my house. It's very little.
Like a gym?
Yeah, no, like a guy named Jim. Yeah, like
Okay.
a workout
Little
gym. Like a workout gym. It's a little gym near my house. It's actually part of like a bigger complex where they do like lessons for gymnastics and like other stuff for kids and like tennis and swimming and shit like that. And like the gym is such a small part of it. And like it's really, Blaine, you would love it. The gym looks like it's out of the 1950s.
Hell yeah.
Like it's got like you expect to see a dude with like the unitard with one strap with the big kettlebell lifting and the like the pyramid weights.
Eugene Sandow. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I just had the membership because it was almost nothing, and it was nearby. It was closer than my other gym, and it was like my other gym's like closer to the office, so I had this like convenience one, but it was like dirt cheap. But because it was like dirt cheap, I also wasn't paying attention to it. And I get like behind by a couple of months, and then I'd pay it, and they got sick of that, I guess, from me like not paying my bills. So they said, hey, we've canceled your membership because you're supposed to pay monthly and you're not paying monthly. You're paying like once every 2 months. And I was like, all right, that's fine. I'm sorry. And they go, you owe this past due amount of like $97 for 3 months or something. That's even too much. It would have been like $30 for 3 months because it was like $10 a month.
Damn.
So I was just like, all right, my fault. I'm bad. But I felt terrible about it because it's like I pay all my bills, but I know because they're not some big company that's going to report me. I was like kind of let that one slide because it's cheap. I feel terrible about that. So I'm just saying this to assuage my own guilt, but I was
Isn't that something you could like pay up front for like a year?
I did do that. I did. That was another one of my solutions. I literally paid for the whole year, but then I had the membership for a while, and I was going in like once a month, like once every maybe like 40 days.
Come on,
It was when I wanted to go on like a Sunday. That's why, because my gym is not open on Saturday or Sunday, the one that I normally go to.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I had it in case I ever wanted to go. And I figured it's like $10 a month. It's worth it. But then it was like, I fell behind. But then I got kind of mad because I was like, guys, I'm like your dream client.
Right.
Like I'm a
Yeah,
person
you show up once a week and you don't pay. It's great.
I pay. I just pay late. But it's like, if they're going to get the money eventually anyway, I'm not going to the fucking gym.
You're not a dream. Don't say you're a dream client then. You're not paying your bill.
I'm close to a dream. I'm incurring.
You're dream adjacent.
I'm dream adjacent. I'm nearby. If they could just get me to pay, like I pay most of the time on time. It's just occasionally I fell behind.
They probably want that to be all the time.
Also, by the way, every other service in the world, it's my responsibility, and I take full responsibility for my responsibility. However, it is like the only thing that I would get a bill in the mail and have to write a check for. So what I started doing was automating and just sending them a payment. Then I ran into a problem where I got too far ahead at one point on them, and they were like, please stop, you're getting too far ahead, and it's like these payments.
You're
so
a
I stopped the
nightmare.
payments,
You're a mess.
and then I stopped the payments, and then I got far behind. I was only there like 2 years. I had all these fucking problems with them. So
Sounds like you're both are better off. Sounds like it was a toxic relationship. You're doing better on your own. All right, let's wrap this up.
I'm not in any better shape than I was.
Do you want to?
Yeah, so
What?
this is going to be my last podcast for a while. As you guys know, Ashley is now 38 weeks pregnant. The phone could ring at any point in time, and I could be off to the races with new kiddos. So I think there's probably a good chance that that's going to happen by next week. So this is going to be my last podcast for the foreseeable future. I don't know when I'll be back, but whoever's in this chair, make sure you're nice to them.
Journey
make sure
burns.
Gus is nice to them. That's all.
Can we just put your kid in that chair and just look at him for 2 hours?
just hanging out? He's not going to be able to hold his head up.
We
He's gonna be
read
like
your
this for a
kid
while.
and mush.
Oh, I can't
Yes.
wait. I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited.
That'll-
Podcast is in good hands. It's good. We're going to keep it nice and normal for you. Okay,
Yeah,
Bernie?
thanks, Blaine. Blaine is
Good
committed
hands.
to the mask bit.
Yeah, Bernie. Can't wait.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Some of us will see you next week, and some of us won't. All right. Bye.
But we tell them to anyway.
And we tell them there's more videos down
Because
there.
this isn't a waste of everybody's time to do this.
No!
But what's not a waste of time is liking and subscribing this video.
Even though you won't do it.
Do it. Prove them wrong.
There's also a bell. And if you're watching this at some point in the future, there's also a bow, and there's some kind of like little thing at the bottom. Click on that too. Whatever YouTube wants to add, we're going to tell you to do it.
Hair.